Well, first of all, I really appreciate each and every one of you coming out tonight supporting Mr. Darcy Ogundegawa. This guy is off the chain, so to speak. He knows exactly what he's talking about. And I have a little bio on him. And since we don't have a teleprompter, this is going to be my teleprompter for tonight, okay? As a consummate professional in his field, Mr. Darcy Ogundegawa has more than 10 years of experience as a radio host in global radio broadcasting. Isn't that impressive? Oh, yeah. That's impressive. He is privileged to be the ultimate liaison between governments, church leaders, and the international radio, television, and broadcasting industry. For the last 10 years, he has been blessed to share his gifts of effective communication and keen negotiation with heads of state as well as presidents of multi-million-dollar companies in Africa, Europe, and the United States. You're talking about well-traveled? Mr. Darcy Ogundegawa is well-traveled. Can you agree with that? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Darcy Ogundegawa created the laws of the Internet and the trillionaire media a few years ago to help authors, speakers, and informational marketers to reach the entire planet with their content. You're talking about a content creator. This young man is a content creator. He is proficient in various professions such as an author, narrator, translator, teacher, coach, radio broadcasting producer, and global media strategist speaker. He has published, produced, and written 12 books in 3 different languages in 2011. He has worked with T.D. Jakes. Come on, somebody. T.D. Jakes. Everybody know T.D. Jakes? Miles Monroe. The Dikembe Mutombo, Foundation, Mace, Bill Whiston Ministries, Jesse Duplantis, Kenneth Copeland, Creflo Dollar, everybody know Creflo Dollar, also man of God, and the 3 heads of state. He is currently teaching all-day seminars on global marketing, digital publishing, and content creation information products. Ladies and gentlemen, now, let me put this down. That is awesome. This young man, you're talking about communication and connecting, he has mastered both of them, communicating and connecting with people. Without further ado, I introduce to you the dominating, the dependable, the daring, the one and only, Mr. Darcy Ogundegawa. Give him a hand.
Every time you're doing too much. Every time you're doing too much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, it's such an honor every time I take the stage from a computer, from Europe or from Africa to talk about what I'm about to talk about today. Like he said, my name is Darcy Ogundegawa, and I was born in Paris, France. So, oh my God, you know, do black people speak French? Yes. So every time I'm doing a keynote, people, you know, they're really thinking like I'm about to speak in French. And it's, you know, it's just like a side joke, but let's get very serious. We are talking about social media and real estate. How many people in this room have a Facebook account? And you remember back in 2008, 2009, people were thinking it was a joke. You know, social media is just for kids. Nobody really want to be part of it. But today, the one who creates Facebook worth more than $20 billion. When you talk about billion, it's a serious market. And tonight, we're going to talk about real estate. But what I'm about to teach tonight is about the internet business model. Most of you guys own a business, some several businesses. A business model is a formula that you can adapt your business according to the demand of the market. So if you are, and most of you guys are also in real estate, even if you're not in business in real estate, you own a house or you own some piece of property, you need to understand how to utilize internet to make sure that you can position yourself for people to find who you are. So I will not be long, and don't say, oh my God, this is about to give me too much information. Make sure that you take some notes, because I want to answer some questions 20 minutes after, in 20 minutes from now. So make sure that you take some notes or you remember what I'm about to say. Okay? I used to give a lot of keynotes for 1 hour and people, they are lost after that. So I'm not doing that anymore. I got so much information. But, information without implementation is like a nightmare. You see, the difference between a dream and a nightmare is like the dream, when you get up, you're still happy. A nightmare is you get up in sweats. And, oh my God, what happened? So I don't want you to have a nightmare tonight. I want you to dream and make sure that dream become a vision and in a tangible form that you can say, you know what, I believe I can do this. When you are in real estate, there's something very serious. Especially somebody who try to buy a house for the first time, or somebody who try to invest in real estate. According to the statistics, there's 86% of people who are looking online when they're looking for properties before they talk to anybody. And what's happening is because real estate is a business been around for so long, some people are very successful and they don't think that they need to adapt their business. But what is going to happen to them is what happened with Blockbuster. Let me tell you a small story. A few years ago, Netflix approached Blockbuster. It was back in 2009 or 10. And they said, you know what, we have this idea and we want to sell our company for whatever price to you guys. You are the giant of video and we need you. And it was 3 guys like, oh, what you talking about? Do you think that people will order movies on Red Little Box? Get out of this office, please. 3 years later, Netflix was a multi-billion-dollar business and Blockbuster was bankrupt. Because people are tired of those, late fees, and you remember. No offense to somebody used to work there, Disclaimer. This is an example for lawyers out there. So just to make sure that you don't want to be left out. Technology will still evolve with or without you. They don't need your opinion. They don't need for you to agree. Say like, no, you know what? I don't agree with Facebook. I don't like social media. It's not about liking something. It's a culture. Now, all of us now have a smartphone and we can access internet from our pocket. 10 years ago, it was impossible. Remember that. So what is going to happen to a market 10 years from today? So you don't want to have a successful real estate business now and declare bankruptcy 10 years later because you want to adapt yourself with social media. So let me give you a few keys about how to position yourself when it comes to social media. There's what we call local search on Google. Remember that, you can ask me a question later. Local search on Google. It means that if I'm moving from Chicago, I'm about to move now in Atlanta, I will search brand new home in Atlanta. I want to, moving company, everything according to where I'm going. We call this Google Trend. Remember that term, Google Trend. So Google Trend, we have access, people like myself, to know exactly what is the hottest trend according to any industry, any month, any day, any hour. So I know exactly the behavior of people, what they're looking for. So all you have to do is to position yourself. So when they're looking for you, you're right there. It never happened to you, sometimes you're lost, you're driving, and then you just say, oh my God, like it happened to you coming here, and you turn around, the same building, and you have somebody say, oh, this is right here. You have some like a relief. Say, oh my God, I've been driving for 20 extra minutes. That's the same thing. When people are looking for you online, and they find that you have information they're looking for, they say, oh my God, Tim was just like, you have a solution. So a business, you provide a solution. And the problem is that sometimes you try to save a house before you provide a solution for a person who is approaching you. If somebody comes, a family, young couple, 2 or 3 kids, and they come and they try to buy a house, you don't say, okay, let me show you 10 houses. You say like, let me show you the 10 best houses where the school system is 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. You got their attention. Because all they want is to make sure that they live in a community we have a school system, is great. And there's a way to search that online, so before you talk to them, you already know where you're going to bring them. And then you start discussing, with them about, okay, what you try to do and different things. So now you have one point. Now let's talk about the second point, is like automation. Remember, the first key was Google Trend. The second key is automation. How many of you guys in business, sometimes you think that you talk to someone on the phone and you're talking too long and you know that it's not going to be a business deal? You're looking at your watch, like, this is it, that's a wrap. They're talking about those for 40 minutes, he's not going to buy anything. I'm stuck with that guy, what I need to do? Do I hang up? Or say like I'm driving, I'll call him back? You don't know what to do. Because you didn't initiate the conversation properly. But I can show you how you can automate the same type of process online, what we call a sequence of email. It means that when somebody comes to your website, you welcome them. Hey, how you doing? My name is such and such. Thank you so much for coming to my website. Make sure that I have a free gift for you about the 5 best houses for family. For free. Just give me your email. Now, my company can show you how to sequence that. So the second email they receive is that, thank you so much. According to the trigger, according to what they're saying, we got pre-written email will go out automatically 2 days after. Like you're not in a hurry. Like you don't even try to sell. You were just thinking about them. You don't about them the first day. So the second day they receive an email. All that was already in the system that had been created for that person. Then you send another email. I would like to make sure that, before we go anywhere and stuff like that, I want to make sure that, want to know how much money you're making a year, if you don't mind. After that, how many kids you have. So you start building a report without talking to that person. So after that series of questions that they answer, when it's time now for you to pick up the phone and talk to them, you're going to close the deal. It takes a little bit longer, about 10 days average, but I guarantee you, when you start talking to that person, you already know where you're going. You already know if they pre-approve. You already know what type of things they like. You already know that they want a fence house. So you're not going to, show them a beautiful house with no fence. So you already have all those answers. And the same questions, you've been on real estate for 10 years, that's the same question coming back to you. So you work a plan, a plan where you say, this is a 15 FAQ question I receive from most clients. So let me, when they ask me those type of questions, I already got the answer. You start to repeat yourself. Okay? Now, the third key that I will talk about today is you need to educate people. We call it free education-based marketing. It's a new way to market. So you start now giving free premium content about your topic. Now, what I'm teaching now is about really, you can use that for any business. Content is a key, is what really is going to be able to let you know what's going on with you and what people are really looking for. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that you destroy all their fear. Always remember, ignorance is based on fear. It's impossible for somebody to be afraid, hesitant, when it's full of knowledge. The only reason that you see somebody being afraid of something because they don't know about it. And I always use that example. If Jonathan said, Darcy, you know what? I have a perfect birthday gift for you. We're going to skydive from an airplane. I said, no, you're not my friend anymore. Think like you should love me. Yeah, to me, we are go somewhere in San Francisco for a weekend, talk about jumping out of a plane. Why? Because I've never done it before. I'm afraid. That's the insult. I said, oh my God, I'm offended now. Because now you want to prove to everybody that I have a lot of fear. I'm not that courageous. But if you say Darcy, I have this friend and he doesn't know what to do. He want to make sure his books are available in China, India, and Kenya, East Africa. I don't know what to do. So I can do that in 1 week. But But for you, when I say that, it's impossible. Say, how in the world do we be able to connect people in China, Singapore, and Kenya? How you do that? For me, it's easy. I get excited because I know how to do it. I've done it so many times. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that when you talk to your audience, you destroy all their fear. I'm looking for a house, they're too far. No, there's a house 7 miles from where you live right now. I know that your daughter is going to that school. That's the same type of school, but on the other side of it. And I know that you worry about the time they got the after-school program, and I know it's important for your daughter to speak Spanish, and I already checked that out. You bring peace to them. And when they have peace, this is it. You don't need to sell anymore. Now you provide a service, and price is not a problem at all, because you solve all their problems. So besides to try to sell and say, oh, I got a house for you, this one is 120, I got one for 105, I got one for 98,000. No. I got a house with a best school, 10 minutes from your job, 5 minutes from your best church, and they got the special teacher for your Spanish, for your daughter, and I know your son want to play piano. They got all that 10 minutes from the house. And if you have something happening with your car, they got an AutoZone just at the beginning, right there at the entrance to your subdivision, because I know that your husband is in the military, so I know you're going to, that's it. Say, where is the house? She don't care. She's going to sign the paper before you show her the house. But sometimes we are so, in business, we are so motivated by money. Oh, I want to sell, I need to sell, I need to make that money, I need to sell. And that destroying the intuition that you have for your business. So now you're not creative anymore. You're not sensitive anymore to that person. You destroy all your human instincts. You're just like an animal who try to eat. And when you come in front of people, they're afraid of you. You just look like a lion to them. So this is why it's so important to take your time and educate people and let them know that you are the person who got all the answers. You're going to provide them all the answers. You really try to help them. You really want to help them. And when they see that, that's what we call the spirit of truth, who's motivated by compassion. And when you're motivated by compassion, everybody who's got a little bit of authenticity in them, they will work for you. That's what makes you the best real estate business person to work with. Not because you sold $1 million house or you got your name in Billboard, because you are the most human business person they ever met before. And they will never forget about you. And they will start talking about you. And they start working for you. Why? Because of your authenticity, of the way you educate them with passion. They can feel it. That person really want to help me. And when you do all those 3 things, Google Trend, so that's what you do. And then after the Google Trend, you make sure that you learn about the automation of your relationship as you do that. And then you become human with your research and you give free content away. Those 3 simple things will change your business forever. I can still talking for like 1 hour. I got the best strategy in the world. But what I realize is that until you start talking to people and make sure that they have what you're looking for, everything else will not count. So it's not about the strategy. It's about the mindset. Business was created to solve a problem. Business is not something to take advantage of people and to say like, okay, I got something for $1, I'm going to sell it for 1,000. So I got something for $1 and I'm going to give you for 150. But you give in to 150 to 1 million people, you're going to make more money than the guy will try to rip off people. So that's all I have tonight. If you have any questions about social media, video, how to create a membership website, and everything else about technology, feel free to ask me any question. I'm here to serve you guys. Yes.
When you're automating the business and trying to develop that portion, what are like some of the key points that you need to focus on when you're trying to get into the automation phase? Like, say, for instance, you might have, my industry, I can think of 30 questions right now off the top of my head. Like how would I condense that down, or where would I start with that, or would I put all 30 on? How would you, when you're trying to formulate a structure, that what's the thing to do?
What you want to do, you put all those ideas down. You get somebody to help you to make sure that it's formatted correctly, that the grammar is correct. Then you use a CRM, a content relation manager, a Weber, MailChimp, Infusionsoft. We got plenty of companies. We're gonna help you automate those triggers on a website. Then you need to have a gift that you give to people who come to your website for the first time. That gift will trigger a certain type of email according to the action they will take, and it's possible to create that.
And so gift, you mean like a certain kind of education?
Education free, yes, free content. It can be a PDF, a video, audio. Yeah. So CRM, Content Relation Manager. And then sometimes you want to have a CMS, a content management system, a website like WordPress, where you have different plugins, so you don't want to have to do a lot of work. Even your webmaster can be able to integrate different things on your website. It's going to be very easy. WordPress now, I believe, almost about 30% of all the websites worldwide, and there's about 700 million websites available right now. CNN.com is a WordPress-based site. So the time of coding a website from scratch, those days are over, unless you just like to do it. Any other question? Even if you have another business.
Something.
Yes.
I was talking to you a couple of days ago, and we were talking about church, so I pastor. And one of the things you said that when our parents was growing up, in our lifetime, in our age group, 40%. And now it's 20% because people are seeing church as irrelevant. And with social media now, as a pastor is like a shepherd.
Yes, sir.
They care about people.
Mm-hmm.
They have the compassion for people.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that God is doing in my heart now that is outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
And He has me focusing on lost sheep. And the sheep that is lost, because of years of what they have seen, hypocrisy, and just different things that they've seen in
Yes.
the religious circle, most of them won't even approach or come into a church building. That don't mean that they don't like God, or they're not a Christian, or they don't believe in God. Because they're still online searching for love, searching for someone to comfort them, searching for someone to encourage them. And so my heart now, and I believe it's the heart of God, is to reach those people. Jesus said, I'm not here for those who think they're good enough. I'm here for those that have been rejected. So how do I now reach that demographic with this good news?
Okay. That's a great question. I mean, and I got the stats. Do you know that only in entire Google, and people are going to be sad with people preaching, but the entire Google search, only 2% of the content is Bible-based. So, it's Christianity need to become a culture. And we are the only people that cannot be recognized by the way they look. When you see a Muslim, you know he's a Muslim. If you see somebody from the Orthodox Church, you know he's from the Orthodox Church. If you see somebody who's a Buddhist, you know, is a Buddhist. Because we don't have, we never work on Christianity until it become a culture. Jonathan and I are the same generation. When we see somebody, we know they listen to hip hop. They don't need to talk to us. Say like, we just look at that. Yeah, that's it. We know. You feel me, right? We know. Like, that's it. We cool. We can talk after the keynote. But when he's a Christian, you don't know what they look like.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
just want to make sure we all bless them. Anything, get anybody food, anything like that.
No, everything is good.
Thanks to
Yes.
apologize.
No, that's good, that's good. So that's a problem. So to answer your question, churches need to start going outside the box and using Google Trend to find out what people are looking for and just give it to them. I was doing some search about hope, and there's a few countries looking for, they're looking for that term, hope. So, because they're looking for that hope, so if you open your mouth and I say like, I know that people in Uganda love hope and I have a message just for them, and you do your research and you teach on hope in Uganda, I guarantee you, you're going to have 2 million views in 3 months. And people are going to say like, oh my God, this is the Lord's doing. No, this is Google's doing. And that's one of the problems. And I will take another example. Pastor Joseph Prince came last year. He did 4 stadiums sold out. So, some of my friends, they know me. I went to do my research to back end why he went to those 4 places. New York, Dallas, Houston, and LA. Did my research. The 4 places where people search and type Joseph Prince on Google. Number 1, New York. Number 2, Dallas, Texas. Number 3, Houston, Texas. Number 4, Los Angeles. Sold out. So on TBN, they asked him, how did you choose those places? He said, I don't know. My team just asked me to go there. I knew why. It's Google doing. So I have so many examples, and that's the same way all across the globe for any type of industry. But people don't know how to use those tools, and they think that it's a game. Here, I believe Jonathan know. You remember like on Monday, one of the VP of Google was here, right? Mm-hmm. I was there. I'm gonna miss that. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. I was there in the room. And that's one of the guys who created the internet, the father of the internet, the Billy Graham of the internet. I said, I'm going to be in the room. Best believe it. So I went there and he shared some things that I shared before in some of my videos on YouTube. He said that there's the over 3 billion. And we can still talk about real estate because there's some people, when I put that video for that event, 2 people from overseas asked me. One will live in Congo, one will live in Belgium. He said, I want to invest in real estate. What I need to do? They got the money. Cash, no credit, no nothing. You just want to know what price it is and bring the money. So, you need to understand that when you are on social media, 82% of Facebook users live outside the United States. 70% of all the YouTube viewers live outside the United States. So, you remember the story I told you before, Mr. Baker, like when I start speaking, one of my good friends said, Darcy, but we're going to speak for you. You got a thick French accent. It was Alan. I said, Alan, don't be concerned about that. I did my research. In Atlanta, I'm a minority. On the internet, I am a majority. So it's gonna be okay. But it was a valuable question because he loves me and he's a professional. Here I can speak. He's a professional speaker. So he said, he was just concerned. But that's the thing happening now. You're so concerned about the market in Atlanta that you forget about people in Abuja who can, give you $1 million in 2 months. You can work in Atlanta 10 years, it's not going to happen unless Google is doing, but go ahead.
My question, thank you so much for the information.
You are welcome.
But as far as
bridging that international gap. You know, because of course, with the internet, the world's a lot smaller.
Yes.
And the best way to try to do it, let's say, for instance, if I want to do business in China, of course, I might not have any Chinese, representatives, or someone on that side of the water that I can actually, converse with. How do I position, my team, my group, and I'm trying to do to reach those individuals, on the national scale?
Okay, very, very good. I'm going to give you a $10,000 answer. You call the embassy, and I'm not even going to play that because it's just too much free good stuff. You call the American embassy in China, and you start, take notes, and you start, you asking for the department and the embassy who's in charge of the cultural affairs and business. Whoever that you're going to have on the phone have a listing and access to every business, every major business in that city. All you have to do is to know the contact name, and as an American citizen, you have a right to get in touch with them. If it's not by phone, it's by email. And because most people never reach out to them, I guarantee you he will reply. And you will be like 60% ahead of everybody else who try to do the same thing. Okay.
First of all, I am so grateful for the insight and wisdom. And I just want to make a comment that you can see that you have done your research. And like you said, I like the comment. God does supernatural, but there's some practical things that you talked about. It was Google. In other words, you made the effort, but you desire to serve people.
Yes.
And that's what's so awesome about you're talking about real estate. You're talking about bringing peace to people. When you made that point, it was to know you and provide a service, and that's what people want right now on earth. They're trying to find peace everywhere. But if not going to serving people, so you can see, serving is leading, because no one has not allocated you to be in charge. You already said to yourself, I'm going to be in charge. So when you said those things and destroyed fears and provided service and provided hope, Mr. Trillionaire, I'm proud to be in this meeting with you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Do you see anyone at any point in time being in a position to maybe give Google, a run for his money, or at any point in time to try to usurp Google from the position that it's in currently right now?
Like somebody to outdo them? Mm-hmm. Me, Trillionaire Media, my company. Yeah, it will happen. It's not about technology. It's about, they want people to depend on them. Everything that is lacking, they provide it. So it's beyond politics, it's beyond money, it's beyond influence. It's about our everyday life. You want to be part of our lives. I didn't finish what the VP of Google said. He said, like now, because in third world countries, the government tried to control access to the internet. The dictator, they hate Facebook, they hate YouTube. They hate it. Because like before in the 90s, when something was happening overseas, you didn't know that in America. CNN was not that big yet. But now when something happened, it's on Facebook before it hit CNN. So now CNN need to go ask Facebook, please, who posted that video? We got the ID over there, and we want to make sure that everything is faster, because everybody has a media company in their pocket. So now, what Google is doing now, they're putting some balloon all over the world, 60,000 feet. So between the sky and the space, in a place where they're going to provide internet for free or for very cheap for people to access internet anywhere, anyhow, from any connected device through a new technology that we call IPv6. And it's so funny because I studied that in school. My degree is in network security. So IPv6 is above Wi-Fi. So it's faster than Wi-Fi, and is in the air through satellite and through the sky. So that's the over 3 billion. So when I tell people on the internet, translate your books, translate your content. If you're smart, you're going to do it. But when that thing hits globally, you're not going to be able to catch up. So you position yourself now for what is going to happen in 5 years. And let me finish with this. A lot of people, President Barack Obama did a joke to the Congress a few weeks ago. You know, he's human, so he said, let me just get back at them. He said, do you know, guys, that if I have a right to represent myself, do you know, I hope that you know I'm going to win again, right? I just want to let you know that if I have a chance to do it again, I will get it again. I just want to let you know. I hope that you know that if I have to run again, I will win. And people are mad when they say that. It's not about politics. A lot of people say like, oh, President Barack Obama is a bad president. Whatever that you think. But let me tell you something. You understand what I know. He's a master in mass communication. Some people, and no problem, man, I got a lot of friends who are Republicans, you know. I'm not even from here. Don't accuse me, okay? You hear my accent, it's cool. So, some people still thinking, I was talking with Brother John about that, they're still thinking like it's 1984. My grandfather, the baby brother of my grandmother, is an American citizen. The game changed. His English is not even good. He's an American citizen. So the American population 30 years ago is not the American population today. Because the Americans don't look like the thing that the way, you know, it's supposed to look. So President Barack Obama catch that back in 2007. So let me give you a list of the 5 most influential people on Twitter. I hope that you know what Twitter is. Number 1 is Justin Bieber, close to 70 million followers. Number 2, Katy Perry, about 60-some million followers. Number 3, President Barack Obama, with 55 million followers. When he was doing the campaign, I was talking to a friend of mine who was doing politics, and I said, like, I guarantee you, if somebody from the right party give me $5 million, I can rebrand the Republican Party in 3 years. Give me $3 million, everybody gonna like them. I said, like, you know, talk to your folks, give me $3 million, I'll do it. He said, why? Back then, Mitt Romney got 1.6 million followers, and President Barack Obama got 22 million followers. So if the campaign tweets something, and Mitt Romney campaign tweets something, who's going to have the most impact? It's a number games. It's not about if you're telling the truth, if you like people or not. The game is about the numbers. So in your business today, you cannot be like, oh, I don't care about social media. I never met John. But somebody I admire him, and Bro Jimmy told me about it. I don't know him. I walk in his meeting Tuesday. He said, Mr. Internet. I never met him. I said, do we know each other? He said, I watch all your videos. I never met him. I talked to another dude for 20 minutes. I said, okay, this is my card. He said, like, I know this guy. I said, that's me. Oh, that's you? He hugged me twice. I was traveling with my wife 4 years ago. We're going to Gabon, Central Africa, 26 hours. We're tired, and my sister said, we go to church. We go to church. Say, introduce yourself to the person next to you. I said, my name is, so how do you know you? You're my friend on Facebook. So you don't have an idea. I live that on a daily basis. People stop me left and right. I was looking for a job 2 years ago, and I went to HR, said, this is my certification. The lady, she walked down crying, she hugged me. You interviewed my cousin, it was the best interview ever. I give you the job. I got stories after stories, story after story, to a point that even my own mom, she said, you know what, Darcy, I'm tired of hearing all these people you're helping. I'm shooting a video. So my mom, I have to shoot an online course on my mom. And Mr. Becker, my mom, she's very smart. She got a 4.0 on her PhD. You know, so it's still happening. over and over again, over and over again. Different people coming from overseas, different, I was talking to, so to make the long story short, I want you to take some action today. Said, I will never neglect social media another day of my life. I will take it seriously. It became an urgency. I'm going to apply myself to it to make sure I can have the type of result that I deserve my business. And the great thing here is like, usually I don't have that much time. So if you have questions, go ahead. Because,
Could I say this?
Yes.
And I remember we've talked about this before. And if Jesus Christ, the man Jesus Christ, was walking the earth now, he would have more following on Twitter. You think he would be using social media? They would blow him up. Every miracle he performed, every blind eye, somebody would be doing it with your cell phone. He would be on YouTube.
Yes.
So when and I'm saying this because I'm in the church or pastor, whatever, people want to look at it. And sometimes I've talked to people, why you're not on they think social media is unavailable. And I'm not saying everybody think that way, but I'm saying some people think I'm not gonna put my personal, you don't have to put your personal business out there. I mean, I don't tell people when my wife and I go into the movie, oh, my wife and I, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. I use it for one purpose. To point people to Jesus, to express the love of God, to let people know that God loved them and His grace is more than enough. So when you use it correctly, you will reach people. You will reach people in a way that, I mean, like I said, if Jesus was here, every day, he would go viral.
Yes.
People would stop spitting in people's eyes opening up. So that's all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. John Trotty. I've been Air Force veteran. I've been contracting mostly overseas. Met a lot of people, a lot of groups, and products and perhaps services. So how would I utilize that possibly using your system? And second question is the IP6 environment, when is that supposed to actually be hit? And how can we utilize that? What are the different ways that you see that how that will change the game as far as business-wise?
I mean, like what type of connection you try to, for what type of business? Say, like for broker?
Broker.
Okay.
Maybe just broker, right? You'll be heavy equipment to cars to agricultural.
Same thing. You call the embassy in those countries. Okay, number one. When you call the embassy, if you can, you have to invest because it's big business. Then you try to go there and meet the person you talk to. Invite them to lunch and say, you're so happy. Number three, the American government looking for minorities to go do things overseas is not enough. The last time I checked, when it comes to people who do missionary work, only 2% of African American do missionary work. Everything else is somebody else. And when it comes to business, it's even less. Because for some reason, because of the culture and the media, some people think that people don't like them overseas, but they are the superstar overseas, I guarantee you. I mean, you've been overseas. I mean, you're always going to find few people who act strange, but most of the time you will be welcome. Now, for the IPv6, it will happen by 2017, 2018. Should be available, for everybody. Google Fiber is starting. It's already started. In a year from now, 18 months, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be 100 times more faster than the internet that we have now. So when it comes to video and all that, it's going to be 4K times 5. 4K is a new HD thing, so it's going to be more like your internet is going to be clearer than any type of flat screen that they have, because the amount of data is going to be able to travel from one device to another. So it's like everything's going to be faster. Something I forgot to talk about is what we call exponential technology. The difference between exponential technology and gradual growth you can measure. Okay, 10 this year, 20 next year, 30, 40, and it double a little bit. Exponential is like that. And then, I mean, you cannot even count out. You don't even know where it's going. We're coming to a time where your fridge is going to talk to your cell phone, say like, you better bring me some milk. I'm out of milk. It's coming like in 2 years. There's a book by Peter Diamandis, The Future is better than what you think. Everything going to be, with internet. Every car will going to be manufactured next year and up. They're going to have Wi-Fi into them. So everything's going to be internet. Everything's going to be connected. So it's like, remember like 20 years ago, people said like, man, if you don't know how to read and write and count, you're not going to get a job. Now it's like, if you don't know how to code or understand a little bit of the internet, you're not going to get a job. It's not like, before it's like you need to be bilingual. No. Now you need to learn how to code. You need to learn how to talk computer. It's not like, are you bilingual? Say, no, I speak computer. I'm global. It's all, it's going to be all about that. So it's really you get the maximum education that you can. Not like you need to become an internet guru, but make sure that you understand what's going on in your industry and make sure that you go with the flow. Like it's like now, can you imagine you not be able to have the ability to drive? Like you cannot drive. Like you say like, oh no, are you going to get your driver license? Oh no, not now, maybe in 5 years. Well, people use social media. Are you on social media? Not now, not in Facebook, 5 years. But by the time you try to get it, it's going to be, those guys, people, it's not, when you see like the news media using it, it's not MySpace stuff. MySpace, it was something else. Facebook is a whole other level. These dudes want to control the world. Apple is about to come out with a car. They got 170 billion in cash. They got more money than the entire government right now. And I was just down there last week with a guy who's my age making $50 million teaching what I'm teaching now. Brendan Bouchard. So how in the world Apple, Amazon now talk about like, take a drone and drop stuff in your house? And people say, it's never going to happen. Watch. Because like, I'm telling you, the government got to be friends with those type of company. Amazon now gives servers, servers, Brother John. Servers now, the CIA using Amazon server, what we call Amazon S3 services, to rent their own information. So the CIA need Amazon. Whatever they want to do, they will do it. They got all the data. The CIA, everybody, they need Facebook, they need Google, they need Apple. They need those four big guys. Amazon, Apple, Google, Facebook. There's nothing that they cannot do without those four guys. They have to be nice to them. They can walk in any meeting with a t-shirt, socks, whatever. Barefooted. They control the world. The only thing is because they don't like politics. But they got the power to do whatever they want to do. There's a group of this guy, the infamous, I believe. They how we call it? The guy who can break everything. What's her name? The guy who can break every system. The hackers. They're about to shut down some terrorist group. And the terrorists listen to them. They say, the next time you do something like that, we shut you down. They say, we apologize. Did you ever see a terrorist apologize before? They apologize. So, no, my bad, man. It's not like that, guys. Because they got the power to shut down every type of internet device. That's power. But us now, if we don't take advantage of this thing, the internet now, the government even try to snatch the internet from the people, and they want the internet to become a commodity. They said, like, can we, can we trade that on the stock exchange? Can we control that? They said, no, it's too late. They said, it's too late. It's gone. There's nothing we can do. Oh, okay, can we charge people how much money we're making on the internet? This is crazy. Can we? No. And I finish with this. In the music industry, in the publishing, whatever the guys that you do when it comes to distribution, you don't need a publisher today. You don't need a record company if you do music. That's why, 2 days ago, Jay-Z and a group of 50 most musicians, they create their own streaming services. Because they tell iTunes and everybody else, we are the superstar. We create our music and we get the stuff exclusive. And guess who they're going to choose? Us. Because we provide the music. We don't need y'all. We change the game. Because they say, you know what, we don't need that no more. So that's the same thing with your real estate business. You can create your own infomercial on a weekly basis, and people come to you because they see you face the more. What they see the most, that's what they believe. People say like the gospel. People say, what is the gospel? I said the gospel is Empire. That's the #1 show on TV. That's the gospel. They say, what? Yes, what people see the most, that's what people believe. So even if you have the truth, and we don't hear you enough, we're going to believe the lie. Because that's the way our mind was created. Our mind was created to exposure. The first commercial ever created was the Garden of Eden. A woman chilling, the snake coming. They say, hey, baby girl, you see the tree over there? Where? Over there. It's beautiful, right? Yeah. No, you can eat it? Really? I don't listen to God. You can eat it. Really? Yeah, taste it. It's good. Thank you. It was the first commercial. The rest is history. It's taking your attention out of what you're doing. It's distraction. Every super producer, they don't watch TV. They TiVo everything that they like. TV is off. Sometimes you go to their house, there's no TV in the living room. But the TV producer, you're a TV producer, but you don't have a TV at home? Why? Because I want to keep produce, to not be distracted. So they sell us distraction. Because it's not about the skills, guys. It's about focus, determination, and stay to the plan. Thank you so much.
Darcy, I want to say